Happy New Year, everyone. Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn in Profit Insiders Coaching. And we're talking window treatment trends with Kelly from Horizons Window Fashions. Welcome, Kelly.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I love talking trends. And I will say, personally, I don't feel like I'm someone who follows trends, but at the same time, I think it's just smart to be aware of what is going on in our industry and our world. And specifically today, we are chatting about window treatment fabrics. So tell us what's going on that we need to know in 2026 with window treatments.
Yeah, well, I think with a new year, we kind of inherently relook at everything. So we're like, oh, new year, there has to be new trends, as so they say, right? And I will say, as a manufacturer of window treatments, we do definitely strive and want to provide trend right options.
Mm-hmm.
However, you all, the interior designers, the ones who are using our fabrics and selecting our fabrics with clients, are really the ones kind of driving the trends that we want to support.
Okay.
And so we hope, the fabrics and the options that we make available to you are only supporting the trends that you all are creating and pushing out in the market. And so with that said, though, because we are a fabric company, which very much relies on trends and colors and textiles that are popular, we do work with outside trend forecasters. As well as working with the fabricators of our fabrics on what's going to be popular, not just the year ahead, but 2-3 years ahead. We have to be thinking to provide these fabrics in these sample books that you will use. And so, yes, we have identified a few trends that we hope to see you all use or interpret, I guess, in your own way in 2026. So the first one being modern homestead, and I actually made a post on the Facebook page to see what some of your you guys are seeing in terms of trends. One, what do you want to see go away? If anything, like is something been kind of been there, done that? And I actually saw a couple of comments about like the farmhouse and the cottage core. We've done that. And so I think the 2026 trend that we've identified, modern homestead, is kind of like the rethought version of cottage core.
Okay. Maybe like simplified, pared down a little bit. Is that kind of the vibe?
It's a little bit more refined. It's maybe not necessarily like the barn door interpretation, but a little bit more refined while also kind of still nodding to nostalgia.
Okay.
And comfort and tradition. And so in terms of like fabrics and textiles, think about textures or patterns that might tell a story or have some kind of historic nod or cozy nod, like lace. Or for instance, we might not necessarily have like a lace fabric in our option, but we have really intricate sheers that kind of nod to like the simplicity or the delicate nature of lace. Florals, that is always going to be an option, but I think florals have so much evolved over the years, just in terms of scale or color. And so in our new soft collection specifically that we just launched at the end of last year, florals was a huge focus because we knew that was kind of going to be a re-emerging trend, specifically within window fashions. Think of like weathered materials, distressed finishes. And again, not everything needs to be, that interior style won't necessarily be 100% reflected in a window treatment per se, but maybe, the window treatment takes the back seat in terms of adding to the vibe of the room, and it's a supporting element where maybe you have like a distressed table in the flooring, and so the window treatment is a little bit pared back in a sheer.
Yeah.
So obviously interior styles are the whole vibe of a room, and we want the window treatments just to be a supporting element of that.
I like that. So you guys are really designing collections around what are designers doing, what is coming, and how can the fabrics on the windows, the beautiful window treatments support that. Sometimes they are the star, the window treatments. Other times they are part of what makes a room feel finished and elegant and complete.
Absolutely. I think Darlene, she was on our inside sales team. She said, unfortunately, sometimes window treatments are like oh yeah, we forgot we got to cover that window in terms
Yep.
of the design process. And obviously we don't want that to be the case. We want it to be just that much more of an enriching element of
Yeah.
the full design, whether that, and again, be the fabric itself, have that be the star of the show, pick a huge, crazy, bold pattern. I have one here as an example in our latest collection. Now, this isn't the best swatch to show. This is an embroidery. So this
That's
is an
cool.
embroidered fabric, but what you can't see on this particular swatch is the tiger, the embroidered tiger that is on this fabric. This is like a showstopper. It's in, I think one of the colors of the year is like a transformative teal. It's like this dark, rich
Mm,
teal. And this kind of plays right into that for 2026. It's like
pretty.
this really deep greeny blue with this crazy embroidered tiger on it. So talk about a showstopper window treatment. That'll do it. I think.
Yeah, throw a few embroidered tigers up there. You're good. I love
Yeah, I think that'll do it for sure. Um, and so that might be perfect, though, as far as another trend we've identified, which is minimalism, MID. So it's
it.
that balance of not going like full Scandinavian, sit on the floor with no furniture, but also not like extreme maximalism with colors and patterns everywhere. It's that sweet spot right in the middle where the window treatment might be the crazy eye catcher, and everything else is a little bit more muted. It's about the balance and the juxtaposition and not just going nothing to extreme. It's about kind of having those, ooh, what's that, mixed with the nice calm within the room.
I like that
So
word. I've never heard minimalism before. I was like,
yes.
what I do? That's a great way to describe it because I feel like people think sometimes you have to go to these extremes of like super stark modern or that like incredibly collected, busy maximalist with both can be beautiful and well done. But I love this sort of comfortable, beautiful, just makes sense middle ground.
And to be fair too, yes, obviously the interior designers are thinking about the full room and the look and the feel and the vibe of each piece. But I think it could be said too for the window treatment itself, a balance.
Yeah.
For instance, maybe the shade is a neutral or a very minimal pattern or like more of a tone on tone. And then the top treatment or the complementary drapery is crazy. Like
Mhm.
even the window itself can be that minimalism where one aspect of it is a crazy pattern or color and the other aspect of it is calm. So you could definitely think about it per window as well, because at Horizons we have multiple categories to pick from. We do soft, that is our bread and butter, draperies, soft treatments, Romans. That is what we're known for. Um, hence the kind of new amazing collection that I keep calling out. But we also do natural shades, which has obviously been a rising trend for the last several years, bringing in those textural elements, those natural warm tone colors. Again, in that Facebook chat, somebody said the darker browns and the warmer browns are coming in and not the grays that were so popular like 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think
Um,
people are pushing back from that really cool trend and we're getting a little warmer and softer again, which is fun.
Yeah, and again, our natural shades program would fit right into that pocket. But we also do solar and roller shades. So those are kind of again, you just need something very simple to cover the window, and maybe again, you want that as the shade, but you want to dress it up with something more dramatic as a top treatment or the drapery. We can do that with our soft. And so I just wanted to lay it out there too that Horizons does have not only in the spectrum of options within each category, but we have those categories of different style window treatments that you can also play with in terms of interior trend and styling, whatever your client needs.
Yeah. What else are we seeing in fabrics, Kelly? I love seeing all the swatches and the pretty things.
Yes. Okay. Last trend that we've identified and that we kind of are, we identify for photography that we do. And the fabrics that we pick is monochrome. And I don't think that's necessarily a new one, but we're just seeing it so prevalent now, I think, in interior design with like, what is it called? Color drenching.
Color drenching, yes, when all the walls, ceiling trim are painted the same color, which I love.
With, us with the greens.
Yeah, we got the memo today. I love it.
Well, let's just stick there. I mean, like, again, in terms of fabrics, let's like look here. Linens, huge. Again, for that airy nature. Velvets, huge. And again, it's just so rich as a window treatment of velvet for like a cozy like sitting room or like a reading room. Just like the richness and the heaviness of a velvet just I think automatically makes the space feel cozy. And so, speaking of velvet and rich, this is you can see I picked the green on purpose to stay with our monochrome. This is like such a deep, rich olive green in velvet. Beautiful. And so those were definitely a focus of an addition in terms of fabrics for our soft collection that we just launched, because we know it's just only growing in popularity. And some people might think, I can just only do velvet in a drapery.
Yeah.
But we want you to think, what would that velvet look like as like a cornice over a natural shade? Just like kind of that sheen element over a natural shade, or as a trim. Maybe you do like a patterned fabric as the main base of a shade or a drapery, and then you trim it out with velvet. Or you put velvet at the bottom as a band, like the edge banding at the bottom, just to ground that drapery. Really mixing and matching fabrics and types of fabrics, not just colors, but like the weights of fabrics, I also think is going to be a cool trend that we see for like depth dimension.
I like that too. I feel like I love that you're pointing this out too, because I feel like as designers, like if I picture a sofa, I know that I'm going to be picking a sofa fabric, maybe a trim or a welting for it, at least 2 different pillow fabrics. And when it comes to window treatments, my default is here's a fabric, but I love that you're sort of encouraging designers to think like, yes, and of course you can do one beautiful pattern fabric and call it a day, or even a beautiful plain fabric. But what about 2 different shades of green velvet, like a lighter and a darker, or using something as a trim, and really doing window treatments to be more of an intentional design feature rather than just, we need a fabric up there to cover the windows.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, we selfishly want the window to be just that much more of a design enhancer, not just, throw a complementary fabric up there, but like add the trims, add the beads, add the embellishments, layer it. Don't just do a shade, do a shade drapery and top treatment. Like that is where it goes to me from like a DIY and just bought a shade to this was a designed space. Like this space was custom to me and my space. And again, we at Horizons don't want you to feel boxed into also the options that we have available, which is plentiful, which is many. But one of our specialties is working with you and bringing your visions to life. If you have this crazy vision about putting a stripe in the middle or putting the trim here and there, we want to be thought of as a workroom. We are your workroom. And yes, we are a nationally known manufacturer that has, advantages in pricing and timelines. Like if you need a window done in 2 weeks, your local workroom, unfortunately, won't be able to do that.
Not likely. No.
But Horizons can. And we want to, and you won't have to sacrifice design to get it in that timeline. which we want you all to know, and we want to work with you. We are your workroom with national manufacturer benefits. So just think of us like that.
I love that. And I love that you are encouraging people to get creative, because sometimes, companies do custom, but then they'd rather you just stick with the basic stuff so they can crank it through. But I feel like an upcoming trend as a broader thing, and obviously you're seeing this and so am I, is more intentionally designed windows. They are not just afterthoughts anymore. So whether your style is more minimal, simple, clean, more maximalist, somewhere in the middle, more traditional, there's so many ways that you can add detail and interest to window treatments and still be aligned with your design aesthetic and design vision, which I think is really important.
Absolutely. And like I said, we want, as at Horizons, we want to be your partner. This is a true partnership, in bringing your visions to life and growing your sales. Let's just call a spade a spade. We want more money in 2026 for you. And so bringing that additional design element of a window treatment and a custom window treatment can really take truly your design from, one level to the next. So.
Yeah. In the Profit Insiders Academy, we teach a lot about fewer projects, fewer clients, more money, meaning fewer, better, bigger scope. And windows are definitely, they're overlooked. People forget that can be part of how you earn revenue as a designer, and what you can do for a client with window treatments is not something that they are likely able to do for themselves. So you bring such value to your clients being able to offer custom window treatments. So I am all for it in 2026. We are going to make beautiful windows. Kelly, thank you so much. If anyone's interested in learning more, the website is horizonshades.com. They've got an incredible team to help you out, and custom is their jam. So don't be afraid of custom window treatments. Get some sample books, look at the fabrics, get some ideas, talk to the people at Horizons that are experts. And really, 2026 can be the year that you up-level your window treatment game for clients.
Yes, please.
All right. Bye, everyone. Good to see you. And we'll be back again with Kelly and Horizons